season than training.
Very good. Okay. Anything else up here on this part of the ship you'd like to show me?
We got our beautiful American flag that we raise at colors every morning, and then the ship's fully dressed out. But no, besides that, that's all there's back here. If you follow me here, you'll start to see all of our beautiful rigging running throughout the ship. So this is America's tall ship, so all these sails come down. We try and sail about as much as we can if the winds are favorable and can take us in the right direction. But all the cadets get a working knowledge of the lines on their mast, and then all the seniors have to know all of the lines throughout the entire ship. So here, this is mizzen mast, and so we have to know all of these lines, but and how they relate to the sails.
Okay. Now the cadets, are they all going into the Coast Guard, and this is part of their training, or is this kind of a program to try and get people involved in the Coast Guard?
All the cadets already have been accepted and attend the United States Coast Guard Academy, and so on board we currently have seniors who are about to graduate next year and become officers in the United States Coast Guard, and then the sophomores who are still in their journey to become officers. So everybody who graduates from the academy will get a bachelor's of science and a commission to be an officer in the Coast Guard.
Okay, that's right. There's an academy. That's right. Okay, very good.
And then we also have OCS trainees come on board. It's part of OCS, but they're starting to phase it out. And as you were talking about with recruiting, we have our swabs come in here. So swab summer is like our little academy boot camp. And then they also bring on sea cadets who are we're trying to recruit to come to the academy.
Okay, yeah, so a little bit of both then. A little bit of...
Yes, and we come to events like this to try and recruit people and spread the word about the Coast Guard, because a lot of people don't really know what we do. And at least growing up in Ohio, I had no idea what the Coast Guard was until I joined.
Sure.
I thought I was signing up to be a rescue swimmer, so.
Right. Well, and you're doing quite a bit more than that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, great.
So if you follow me past all this rigging here, cadets will climb up these to get into the sails. They're on each mast. And we have a special safety system where we clip in. So in case the ship starts to rock too much, then you won't fall. You're clipped in. So it's pretty safe.
That's good to hear. I would hope so too.
Yes. So here we have the main helm. As you can see, we have 3 wheels here. Usually it's manned by 6 or 7 people. So it'll be 3 cadets on each side. And then usually your qualified helmsman at the front, telling the cadets what to do. This is the actual one, so it won't spin because it's connected to the rudder right now.
Okay.
But it's all manual. There's no hydraulics. You actually just have to pull on it to actually turn the rudder that weighs a couple thousand pounds.
That's interesting. You have so many people on it at one time.
Yes.
Is it because of the strength required to do that? Yeah. Okay.
But one person can do it. When the cadets aren't here, the crew does do it on their own. It just takes some muscle.
I can imagine so. So this is actually the actual steering of the ship. There's nothing electronic like you're saying. This is how you guide the ship here.
Yes, this is the most manual ship in the Coast Guard. All the other ones, it's a nice little knob that you turn and then the ship will turn. But this one is actually muscle manual, no hydraulics.
I like that. Very good.
So if you come on this side, you can see we have engraved, and they made it all nice and shiny for us, U.S. Coast Guard Eagle. And then right here we have both of the compasses, the gyro compass and the magnetic compass, which this lovely young lady is cleaning for us right now. She's getting it nice and clean for the tours later.
Let me ask you do you learn a little bit about navigation by stars?
Yes, we do a lot of we call it cell nav, celestial navigation.
Okay, yeah.
And so, just about every day they have trainings. The sophomores have trainings. They come out here on the back. They have their sextants. They shoot up at the stars. They learn all of the different names of them and how to do all the math required to figure out where you are.
Well, that's interesting. My dad was a navigator on a destroyer in World War II, and he talked about how they used stars a lot more in those days.
Yes.
Of course.
But
that was back in the 40s and 50s, yeah.
But the whole point of this ship is to teach about history. Obviously, we don't have to be on a sailing ship, but the whole idea is to teach about history and the old ways sailors used to do things. So stuff like celestial navigation and sailing are at the forefront here. When it would be easier to just motor everywhere or just use our GPS.
Sure.
So it's good that they know all those backup ways and
constellations.
Yes, exactly. Though it's not operational right now, here's the bridge. We have all of our GPS equipment and systems in there. Those phones we use to call the CO in case we have contacts or we need her up on the bridge. Our radar's in there too. Yeah, radar and then GPS, radios, everything's in there. Right here we have the throttle for the ship's engine.
The throttle, huh?
And we run on a diesel engine.
What's the maximum speed of this ship, do you know?
So the maximum speed is actually sailing. If we have good winds, I imagine we can get to about 21 knots. But I feel like our average, we sail at about like 4 to 7 knots, nautical miles per hour, with the engine on. We're going 4 to 7.
So to get to Astoria, for example, how long do you think it would take you? That's your next stop, I believe, Astoria. How long would you allow to get from here to Astoria, for example?
So we have about an 11 days like built into our transit, but we like to take our time because this is a training ship. We'll do like circles and loops to like teach about navigation, right? To like teach about how to like best do turns and stuff. So we're not in a rush to get anywhere. We're just going slowly, so it'll take us about 11 days.
I guess you wouldn't want to be in a rush.
Right.
In this ship, necessarily, anyway.
Right. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yeah, good. Well, this is wonderful. I think, are we close to done with this side of the ship?
Yes, this is about it. I can take you over to the forecastle in front of the ship.
Yeah, sounds good. I might just keep this running, but we can just walk and talk, or just walk.
Yeah, so the waist right now is being used for day work. Today is Thursday, so it's just a full work day for the cadets. They're getting training on a couple different things, on celestial navigation, on damage control, which is like if there was a fire on the ship, how would you respond?
How many crew members do you normally have on this?
Crew members, we have about 50 permanent party crew and then 150 cadets. So at any given time, we have about 200 people on board.
Okay. Well, hopefully they're all going to get to have a good time while they're in town.
Yes, everybody takes turns on when we have liberty. So
Yeah.
as you can see right now, we have someone up in the rigging. They're getting the ship all dressed